Welcome back to the Outdoor Drive Podcast. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yes, it is Tuesday. I know we normally release on Mondays. With everything going on and craziness, I'm back to work full time now, so Monday nights are tough. We have a Monday striper trip, so it's tough for me to record on Monday nights. So now we've gone to Tuesdays. So Tuesday nights are the nights. So we will be releasing podcasts either Tuesday during the day or Tuesday nights after recording. So I just want to let you guys know that. And we are cutting back to one a week instead of two a week. Now that the pandemic is starting to kind of dwindle back, everyone's back to work. We had done that to put more positivity in everybody's life and have double the content. But now that things are kind of going back to normal, we're going to do one a week on Tuesdays, possibly two a week, depending. If we can get some extra content out there, we would love to. So we do have some extra content going up on our YouTube page. Check that out, the Outdoor Drive Podcast. Steven had just done a smallmouth fishing video out of the Shenandoah. So for you that are interested in smallmouth fishing, he put up a great video on how to with a rubber minnow. So go and check that out. But we had just gotten back from our 16-hour trek cross country to Illinois to visit the working class bow hunter, Shewt, with the working class bow hunter family. It was 16 hours. We had the pleasure to drive out with Shawn Polke, who is a Connecticut native but now lives in Virginia. So he was up here at the time, so I was able to jump in the car with him. We picked up Dan Smeltz on the way down in Pennsylvania, and then we were off to Youngstown, Ohio, and we picked up Stephen Clark. So then we had hit the road, and we made the 16-hour trek to go and visit our boys. We had the pleasure of staying with Kurt Geyer at his place. We camped out in the backyard. Really enjoyed it. We cooked up some food on Friday night. Saturday was the shoot. We stayed there Saturday night. Danielle from the working class bow hunter crew did a crawfish boil. I actually missed out on it. I ended up falling asleep. I was wicked tired, and I actually ended up missing out on it. But everyone said that it was amazing. I saw the aftermath. It looked like a crawfish bomb went off. So that must have been awesome. Everyone was ranting and raving about it. So nice job, Danielle, on that one. But if you guys haven't checked them out, go and check out WCB, Working Class Bow Hunter. As I say in this, they really have paved the road for a lot of us. They've opened up a lot of opportunities for a lot of people, and they've put a lot of education and real back into the industry. For me, myself, they've paved the road for podcasting. They are the ones that kind of kept me in the loop of doing so. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met Stephen Clark. I wouldn't have met Shawn Polke. I wouldn't have met Dan Smeltz. I wouldn't have met Eric Smith. I wouldn't have met anybody that I spent the weekend with. But those guys are brothers in arms and guys that I would do anything for, even if they do live 16 hours away. Without further ado, I do want to thank our partners, the people that partner up with us here at the Outdoor Drive and make a lot of this possible. First off, I want to thank Nor'easter Game Calls, nor'eastergamecalls.com. Get them in close. If you haven't checked them out, go and check them out, nor'eastergamecalls.com. Custom turkey pots, custom grunt calls, the Evo series. If you guys haven't checked that out, man, go and get it. It's next to none. There is no grunt call on the market that beats the Nor'easter Game Calls Evo series. And you can get them custom with anything you want in them. Also, Broadside Camo, broadsidecamo.com, the Ascender series, now with the Ascender sweatshirt. If you guys haven't checked that out, broadsidecamo.com, picture realism camouflage to get you up in the tree. Also, Wild Edge Inc., the leader in mobile hunting. Get your perch, your steps, your aiders, swaders, naders. They are the full outdoor mobile hunting system. Check them out, wildedgeinc.com. Wicked Twisted Bowstrings, wickedtwistedbowstrings.com. Use promo code OutdoorDrive over there. Get your custom bowstrings. They have the BCY. They have the Bloodline. Everything you can imagine, any color, any way, get Jillified over there from Wicked and Twisted Bowstrings. Wicked and Twisted Bowstrings.com. So check them out. Also, we have the Hunter site, huntersite.com. It's the algorithm to your hunting journal. Go and check them out, huntersite.com. Also, Death Wish Coffee, deathwishcoffee.com. Use promo code OutdoorDrive10 to save yourself 10%. So this podcast here is on our drive home from Illinois, and there will be a little bit of background noise. Obviously, we are on the car. You can hear the highway. You can hear the trucks, so on and so forth. But that is the drive. That is what we are here for. We are the Outdoor Drive Podcast, so we are driving on our way home, and we actually dropped a really cool podcast with Stephen Clark, myself, Dan Smeltz, and Shawn Polke. So why don't we just get on into it? Enough of me talking, enough of this bullshit. But thanks everybody at the WCB Shewt, man. It was great to shake hands and see everybody, a little bit of positivity in our lives, to see everybody and spend time with everybody. So let's get on with it. Nice shot. Here comes a shooter, big buck. Stack. Get the gas! Where are we?
Not quite sure. Somewhere in the middle of Ohio?
It looks like the land of the giant squirrel.
Yeah, we passed through a couple of those today. But it's all right. We're in good company.
Why is that?
Well, we got some special guests that are probably sick of us and how we smell at this point.
It does smell like musky balls in here.
It kind of does. So, this is Steven. I'm driving.
This is Dan, and I'm riding co-pilot.
I'm Trev, and I'm in the back seat.
And I'm in the back. It's Shawn.
What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
Tired. Really tired.
Trev, did you say you were tired?
No, I'm never tired.
I was going to say, you got more sleep than all three of us combined.
I like to sleep.
You're the smart one.
Are you tired or are you sick and tired?
Oh, no, just tired.
Okay.
Ain't no sick about it. It's been a good time.
It's been crazy. So we're actually on our way home from the WCB Shewt. That was a great time. 16 hours there. We were all excited, and we got to get out there in Illinois. But on the ride home, it's a little bit different. It's a different feeling, I guess.
It's like coming down off a freaking crack.
Definitely less exciting, that's for sure.
So what'd you guys think of the Shewt, man?
I had a lot of fun.
It was good.
What was probably your favorite part of it?
Hanging out with the whole crew, drinking beer. The shooting part was fun, but probably just hanging out with everybody, talking deer hunting and drinking beer.
Yeah, I would say the same. Just getting to meet everybody and put faces and names on, all the people you see on social media. It was just an overall great time.
So you guys are both on the Hang and Bang team, and you guys have been talking pretty closely with a lot of these guys, and isn't it? What'd you guys feel when you got there?
It was like you felt like you've known them for a long time. You talk, but we haven't actually met any of these people. But it was like within 5 or 10 minutes, it was you feel like they've been friends for a long time, and you just hang out, shoot the shit, and just talk hunting and just drinking beer and everybody having a good time.
Yeah, Shawn nailed on the head. I mean, it's just going to a place and you don't know anybody, and within a couple of minutes, you got everybody's just best friends.
It's so crazy how the world of WCB has kind of all brought us all together. I think we can owe that all to them. as far as like even me and Steven meeting each other was all because of WCB. Me being where I was with podcasting because of WCB. Me meeting you, Shawn, you, Dan. I mean, it was all because of WCB. I mean, Curtis kind of, I think about it all the time and how like he's laid that path for all of us to follow, and he's made a world of something that's, you know, I think that needed in the industry, and a new thing in the industry as far as like that family, that love, that passion, you know, it's all there. And I think that he was the one that paved that track for a lot of us.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't know any of you guys if it wasn't for them. I wouldn't be stuck in a smelly fucking truck for 16 hours with you if it wasn't for them. So I'm not sure that's a good thing, that part, but I'm not sure I have to thank them for that, but you know, I mean,
it's opened up a lot of doors for a lot of people though, as far as like, I mean, how many people we all talked to the whole entire weekend about different hunting trips and doing different things and opening our eyes to different hunting experiences, you know. It's nuts
for sure. I mean, think about it from the point we left, just kind of running through my head. I think we all came out of there with 2 or 3 things on the list that, you know, we may be going out and doing something new somewhere new, just from 2 days of bullshit with the guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm booked for the next like 4 or 5 years. It feels like.
Yeah, right. No, and it's cool. But I think it was Dan that put it out earlier when we were talking. Where else can you put 40 people in the middle of nowhere in a backyard camping out with that much booze and that much stuff, who've never really met each other, and not have a single argument, issue, raised voice, nothing?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just good time all around.
Absolutely. I mean, the only bad time of the whole thing is when we were setting up for the shoot the first night, and then we came back and Twister had gone through Kurt's yard and our shit was all over the yard.
How'd you like that wet sleeping bag, Trev?
Oh, my sleeping bag was fine. It was my drenched pillow that wasn't fine.
It looked like a Stay Puft marshmallow.
I'm just glad that it wasn't all in my tent, that I didn't bring the fly for it.
I don't know. My tent was perfect. I don't know what the issue was.
I definitely screwed up somewhere because Shawn had to help me dump out about 3 inches of water out of my tent.
I guess it's the excitement of the whole entire thing, and being able to, like, you know, from the start of the day, I mean, when we had gotten into town and kind of like we all got to hang out, we went to breakfast, we kind of checked everything out, we drove around, got to see a lot of things, and then, you know, meeting up with all the boys and then helping them set up the course and checking that thing kind of out was, I don't know, man, it was just a weekend of like being with your best friends, especially after everything that we kind of like, that's been going on with the whole COVID bullshit and, you know, with everything with the riots and everything, you know, like it was just like a sigh of relief and like an open to, you know, like the new start of 2020 to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
No, I agree. This is like the official start of 2020. All the other bullshit you can just throw it out the window, and you know we'll consider this the start of 2020.
I'm down with that.
For sure.
So why don't you guys lay it down for us, kind of like how the shoot went from start to finish?
Well, checked a lot of firsts off the box for me. Got my first Casey's pizza experience. That was high on the fucking list of priorities.
Yeah, we didn't even make it to town before you wanted to stop for that.
Look, I've heard Steve talk about this for like 4 years, and I wasn't going to come all the way out here and not get Casey's, even though Trev tried to talk us out of it.
What would you give it out of 10?
I mean, for what it was, I think it was a 10. For gas station pizza, it was pretty fucking good.
I agree.
Did you see a difference in it, like between us getting it from the place or when Gene Miller had brought us fresh Casey's pizza?
The fresh was better, and that taco pizza that he brought was freaking killer.
bomb.
That was so good.
I can't believe I missed that.
You were being the grill man.
Yeah, I know, cooking hot dogs.
Car salesman. Like, hey, I got a burger. Hey, you want to take a burger? I'll toast a bun for you. You want a hot dog? You want a sausage? What do you want?
Oh man, you know, before we get too deep into it, honestly, we want to thank Mr. Polke for the for the ride.
The sweet ride.
Absolutely.
The ride and style, too, at that.
Yeah, my dad hooked it up, let us take his truck, so we had a reliable vehicle, because I'm pretty sure mine wouldn't have made it all the way out here.
Yep, my 99 Civic wasn't going to make it here.
And if it did mine did make it out here, it wasn't going to make it home.
I don't think if we used anybody's stuff other than this, we could have packed all the crap we brought.
No, we brought way more shit than I thought we were going to have. It just
But
kept
we ended
coming.
up using just about all of it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that we brought that was unnecessary.
No. So, Dan, what did you think about the Shewt?
It was awesome, man. We were kind of worried going into it because it was supposed to be pretty bad weather on Saturday, and it was really nice that it turned out to be a beautiful day. And so that was nice, and I think they had a pretty good turnout. It seemed like there was just constant people flowing through the Shewt the whole time.
Yeah, I was just reading actually on the WCB page that they had 146 participants.
That's incredible.
And they came from all over. I mean, it wasn't just, obviously we came from the East Coast, coming from Connecticut, Virginia, Pennsylvania,
Georgia.
But,
Our boy Eli come all the way up from Georgia.
yeah, Eli came up from Georgia. Bones, Eric Smith came in from Tennessee. There were some other Pennsylvania boys also that had come into town.
Some guys from the UP in Michigan.
A couple Upers.
Missouri,
Nebraska.
Minnesota, people all over the place.
So it definitely brought some fam from all over the place. It was pretty cool to be part of it, see everybody and hang out with everybody, and it was definitely a good time. What do you think your favorite shot was, Dan?
Well, I know which one wasn't.
What was that?
The one that involved a fence and rebar.
Got him.
Yeah, that was. I definitely came home with one less arrow on that one.
So real quick before you go into that story, just to clarify, we all went out, the four of us and the WCB boys, and Galesburg Archery Club gave us free reign on however we wanted to set the course up. And that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, Trev liked to take it a little too far sometimes.
Well, I don't know. Ultimately, I think the most damage came down to Gene and those hog fins he put up.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you do that, and then of course you're sticking the vitals behind trees and bushes, and there were some jacked up shots in there.
We made it for a left-hander.
No,
Kiss my
definitely.
That was the most anti-left-handed fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a great course, man, and for the Galesburg Archery Club to allow them guys to use it was definitely badass. So last year there was only 12 or 14 targets, which was great. It was at Clark Cummins' place, and it was beautiful. It was 105 fucking degrees out. Absolutely miserable when it came to that, but the targets were set up a little bit differently, like it had gone around his field, kind of like part of it into the woods, but this was a full-on 30 target 3D course.
Yeah.
It took us. We had Eli, Sarah Ann, Eric, his buddy. What was his buddy's name? I'm bad with names.
I don't remember.
Damn it! I'm gonna get shit for that.
Get him, Eric.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, and then we had us four, Eli, and that was it, right?
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the crew.
So we had all done it, and it took us
3 hours.
3 hours to get through the whole entire course. So it was really spread out. I was on the south-facing slope on a hill. It's crazy because we've been talking about it the whole way down here. Like as soon as you started getting out of Ohio, Indiana, then you got into Illinois, on how flat it is.
Oh yeah.
Talk about a squirrel moment.
Yeah.
We went from what happened to his arrow to how flat it is.
It's cool. I really don't want to talk about what happened to mine.
No, I want you to have to relive that.
Oh, yeah.
Polk, what was your favorite shot there?
I forget what the target was, but it was one where it was like the front shoulder was the only thing sticking out from behind a tree. Like remember, there's a tree.
You got to explain it to us from a right-hander's perspective.
It was a tough one for a left-hander.
That was that bear.
Where that stake was, and then you had the target sticking out from behind the tree. But I ended up hugging the tree, made a good shot, but it wasn't.
Was that the ram one?
I think it might have been where it was. You had that big tree, the ass end was to the left,
Yep.
and then the stake was way over to the left. So you kind of had to really contort, or I had to like contort myself with my foot on.
That wasn't every shot.
Huh?
That wasn't every shot?
Not everyone, but you know,
No.
quite a few.
I think I was target number 3 or target number 4 with the ram, the brown ram
Yeah.
or the black
Yeah, it was
ram.
definitely the
Yeah, it
beginning.
was the big
I like
one.
that one. And then the fucking velociraptors at the end were pretty fucking.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, 41 and 42 yards, and they definitely were like deceiving as to how
you
far they
couldn't
actually
see
were.
those rings. Yeah, that was nuts.
They, the other thing is they had the raised platforms, so you would shoot doubles off the raised platforms. I thought that was pretty badass because it like kind of like, changed the, the dynamic of everything. Like some of it you were, shooting down, some of it you're shooting up, some of it, you're shooting from the platform, so it's kind of cool to like kind of change it up and really get down and into it.
Yeah, it made it more, put you in more in a little realistic hunting situation in an elevated position, and I thought it was pretty cool. And then you get 2 targets, different yardages, and
Oh, you know who else we had shooting with us and we almost forgot him was Chris Ziegler.
Oh yeah.
oh shit, yeah,
Yeah, I forgot.
I knew there was somebody.
We had a good time with everybody, man, and everyone shot so well. Everybody did very, very well when it came to shooting. It was
Had a
so
solid
much
group.
fun. And none of you guys were shooting with me at night. I had to shoot alone.
Hey, we tried last night, but you were so busy playing with them wieners that.
Them wieners. I don't know. The food was phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
We had so much fun. I mean, you brought in that broccoli roux,
broccoli rabe sausage,
sausage.
stuffed clams, and then what you brought the freaking half the ocean.
Yeah, but we had the fish cakes, we had the clams, we had the hot dogs. What else we bring? We saw some bluefin tuna,
Some lobster roll.
that we shared with G Miller and the fam. I couldn't help myself. We had to eat that right off the rip, and then
That was good.
they freak out. And they always ask, "Where's the scallops?"
Yeah, Clay was like, where the fuck are the scallops, Trev?
Where's the scallops?
I hope you didn't eat them all last night.
No, we didn't bring no scallops. I wish we did, but I was trying to figure out how we can get 30 lobsters to to Illinois, but that wasn't gonna happen.
We had mini lobsters.
We have mini lobsters.
I'm surprised we didn't kill the clams on the way out here.
Yeah, right? Well, yeah, we were real worried about them. Actually packed in cause you gotta give them a little bit of air, and I thought that we were gonna kill them on the way out. But we did have mini lobsters. Danielle had brought out mini lobsters and had a crawfish boil.
That was another first checked off the list for me. That was fun.
I missed out on that.
Yeah, what were you doing?
I was actually busy shooting my bow.
No, you weren't.
Try again.
No,
I was sleeping.
the only one sleeping.
You were out.
I was, man. I was
Actually,
Conversation fell over on the cot asleep.
You
I
might have
turned-
beat beat Kurt's daughter to sleep last night.
Yeah. I guess so.
Lila May, I think she outlasted you yesterday.
Did she?
She was moving as much as you too.
Oh man.
She did not want to come out of the rain. It was great.
Oh, she was playing around in the rain.
Oh yeah. As
Oh,
soon
I
as it
missed
started
out.
sprinkling, she'd run out from under the canopies and play with the pool floaties and stuff. Just running in circles, causing mayhem.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and the rain wasn't all that bad as they had said yesterday. We didn't have rain until we had gotten back to Kurt's house,
Yep.
which is kind of good and being able to enjoy it.
We did get a lot though once it did start raining, but it stayed dry when we were shooting.
Look at this land, dude.
So what was your favorite shot, Trev?
My favorite shot.
I know what my favorite shot you took was.
What one was that?
Oh, it was definitely you and Jeremy shooting at squirrel nuts in the dark at the end.
That was tough. We had that whole freaking shoot off in the middle of the night.
Yeah. It was 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, Eric had pulled up in his
Helen.
The
Helen,
rodeo, man.
the rodeo, with his spotlights and everything, dude. We set up camp and we were gonna We messed around in the middle of the night. That was so much fun, dude, because Kurt had a 3D course right in his backyard, had a bunch of targets, and we had a shoot off, me and Jeremy, lift to hunt, man. Oh, it was such a blast, dude. And so he has this black squirrel that was way down in the back of the range, and it's dark out, so we're like trying. That was a shoot off. So he had a fallow, a black bear, a big mule deer, a bear. So we had to shoot or a hog. We had to shoot those, and whoever was closest, they were gonna win a prize. But we actually ended up tying, and then we had to have a shoot off with the black squirrel. So it was kind of cool. It was definitely
45, fun. I think is what it was.
Yes, something around. Yeah, I think it was 45 to 47. But it was impossible to see it because it was like in the shadows and it was completely dark.
Who won?
I did, but not by much, dude. Like it was fucking close.
You were in the squirrel and he was in the stump.
Yeah.
So I mean, technically, you won by a squirrel.
Yeah. A full squirrel. That's why it's the land of squirrels. Jesus. What do you think about the bone out there, man? I'll tell you what, dude.
Oh my
Kurt's
God.
house is so impressive, man. The work that he's put in is just like, to see that stuff was next to none.
Between seeing all his mounts, like I've seen pictures online, but seeing them like online versus seeing them in person doesn't do him justice. Creepy, that deer he killed last year was a freaking stud, and then seeing all the sheds that Clayton had brought. Oh my God, I need an Iowa tag and need to go on Illinois too.
Yeah.
I need to move.
Me too.
It puts a different perspective on the East Coast for us. Like, you know, like we say to them, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we could help you get on a deer out here or whatever, and we're like, no, we just want a Pope and young deer, and they're like, oh, that's easy. And we hunt our whole entire lives in the East Coast to shoot a good Pope and young deer.
Yeah, Clayton was saying, you know, you want to shoot. We were saying 130, and he's like, oh, well, I can help put you in a place, you know, show you where you have no problem seeing 130s. I pass 130s and 140s all the time. And I'm like, well, you what? You pass 140s and 130s?
I guess that's like that skill level. I mean, like where it comes in, like we have been talking about it with like Austin Chandler and stuff, that like they set out to shoot big deer. Like that's their goal. You know what I'm saying? Like they obviously, and not only that, but it's a one deer state. It's a one buck state. Iowa is.
Yeah.
Illinois is a 2 buck state with the bow. So like you're not gonna waste your tag on a 140 when you know that there's 160s, 170s hanging around. It's not that they don't. You know, I feel that they don't, you know, that they're just passing those deer to be greedy. That they know that quality of deer there, and that's their forte, man. It's just chasing them giant bucks and knowing when to make those moves and how to make those moves properly to put big deer on the wall.
Yeah, and they just live in the land of giants. I mean, it's just crazy that looking around where they are and hearing the stories about the deer that they're seeing just locally to wherever we were, and it's crazy because where we come from, nobody sees deer like that, and if you do, it's a 1 in a million, and to them it's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, Clayton found, how many say, like 65 sheds this year, and he had a handful of studs that he brought and was showing us, and I'm like, if I were to find one like that in the state of Connecticut my whole life, I'd probably never find another one again.
Because he had 2 sheds over 70-something inches with him.
Yeah.
An elk shed, how many? He got, what, 13 or 15 elk sheds or something this season in North Dakota, or South Dakota?
Well, then he had those two monsters that he had on Friday night, and then the one that Dana brought back to give to him, there was 2 of them?
Yeah, there was 2 of them.
Okay, I think I only saw one that he had carved. And
Well, he had carved 1, but he had brought back 2. He was doing 2 replicas for him. But they were all giants, and that had been his biggest one. And I mean, dude, Dana paces work.
Insane. I wanted to win that Morel so bad. Now I just gotta buy one.
Yeah, you were the last one in the running that could have got it.
No, Trev was too. We didn't win shit.
Oh, yeah.
No, we didn't win shit. What did you win, Dan?
A shit ton, like a lifetime supply of broadheads.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I got is it Raptor Tricks?
Yeah, Raptor Chicks.
Yeah,
6 dozen.
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
Or 6 packs.
6
Yeah,
packs.
it was 6 3-packs, so you're getting 18 broadheads.
Wow.
Raptor Tricks.
And with PA being a 1 buck state,
PA's a $1 state?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One buck, and then typically you'll get one doe. Some spots
You can get 2.
you can get you can get a couple does. It depends. If you're in those like around Philly and stuff like that, they try and practice a little bit more population control, and they give out a lot more doe tags.
Yeah, up in Montrose last year they bumped up to 2.
You can every now and then you'll get lucky in some of the other ones, but typically speaking, you only get one doe tag a year.
That's crazy. So then you have to be a little bit more selective with what goes on also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's nuts.
Hunting PA is it's its own unique animal. You got the East Coast problems and the West Coast limitations.
And the people.
And the people, yeah, everybody there hunts. I mean, is opening day still a holiday?
Oh yeah. People have off schools, and it's pretty much it's a holiday. It's legitimately a holiday out by us.
That's crazy, man. I wish it was like that for us, but we live in liberal America. Oh, well, I do, anyways.
Yeah, nobody was in school that whole week. Really, the first week of deer season, and that's rifle season. This isn't for bow season. Rifle's way more predominant than archery is out in my section of PA anyway. But opening day of Monday after Thanksgiving, it's just kind of shut down. Everybody's hunting, and then that whole week, you don't need any excuses or anything for anything. You just go hunt.
So, Dan, I know that you got a couple of cameras out right now. You've been getting dinged the whole entire time, and so has Polke. But what are some of like your goals? Like, was this kind of like a reset for you to like focus on whitetails? Because I know it was for me.
Yeah, for sure. I got I think 13 cameras out right now. I got a bunch more I still got to put out. The most frustrating part was there's 0 service at Kurt's house, and I'm getting pings of all these trail camera photos, and I can't look at them. That was kind of frustrating, but yeah, it was definitely a good little nice reset and kind of clear your mind and talk to a bunch of like-minded people and kind of get in the zone and get back, transition out of turkey and all this other bullshit that we've been going through.
Hey, easy on the turkeys.
I had a bad year with turkey, so
You're not alone, brother.
we're not friends right now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kill them that much more next year.
So, what's your goals for deer hunting season, man?
My goal pretty much every year is to shoot a Pope and young deer in my home state. And progressively as the season goes on, the goals kind of drop. So I'll go after a specific deer, early October, early November. And then once, the rifle seasons come in and then the later bow season comes in, then it kind of transitions more to filling the freezer than, filling the wall full of a stud buck or something. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Do you have a target buck already set aside?
Oh yeah, I got one target buck that's been taunting me and my one buddy for 3 years now.
Where's he at?
He's in the woods.
I tried.
Does he have a name yet?
Yeah, we call him Trump.
You call him what?
Trump.
Trump?
You just can't kill him.
That's awesome.
King of the forest, man.
That's fucking awesome. How about you, Polke, man? You got some cameras out. You laid down some big time before you left, and
Yeah, I got one buck that I know of that I definitely want to give a crack at. He's been around for a couple years, and I know he made it through last year because I found one side of his sheds in March, and never found the other side, but I really want to get after him. There was another one, that really good buck we had in that farm. I'm not sure if he made it through. He kind of disappeared like October, November. Had some videos and pictures of a buck that could have been him, but it was too hard to tell. Nighttime, too far away. I can't say for sure it was him, but I'm hoping it was him because he's a stud too. He's a big, wide 10 with a split G2 last year, so we'll see. Hopefully here with these cameras out. I had a cell camera on that one, and that one kind of took a shit, so I got 2 more that's supposed to be coming today. I'm going to replace that tomorrow, and the other farm I've been getting some smaller bucks. A little too hard to tell what they're going to be just yet, but we'll see. I just want to get I'd like to get a Pope and Young buck with the bow this year, but if not with a bow, when gun season comes in, I'll pick that up too.
any other states that you're trying to get at?
Not this year, but after this weekend, I've got some plans for some shit. Well, Well, after talking with Clay, if Wayne doesn't decide to go out there with him, I might head to freaking Nebraska and go mule deer hunt with Clay.
That sounds like a good fucking time. Especially with Clay.
Oh God. I want to see him. I want to see him shoot a freaking monster muley and then run skipping across the freaking prairie to go pick up his deer.
That guy's got a very perfected skip. Did you notice?
Oh yeah, that you can tell. There's a lot of years of technique and practice there.
Epic.
It was just a weekend of laughs, man. Like, everything was so much fun. I mean, Jordan Johnson was there with his camera and doing the thing with the drone and just watching him, and it was just so cool for me to catch up with everybody, and you guys to meet everybody after all this time of, conversating with everybody, hanging out with everybody, and then, it was cool to, like, set these goals and talk to these people, and just, it was just so much fun. I mean, a lot of it I kind of sat back or I was sleeping, but to hang out with everybody, man, and see everybody, after everything, and, with the winter being the way it was, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah, if you don't come out of this weekend jacked for deer season and hunting season to come, you got a problem.
I'm trying to figure out how I can quit my fucking job, dude. I'm not sure. I might tell them I caught COVID while I was gone. I'm not really sure, and then just never go back. I'm not really sure. I'm just trying to focus on whitetails. Steve, what are you thinking after this weekend, bro?
I ain't thinking a whole lot. Hell, I'm never thinking a whole lot, but that doesn't say much. Really just, such a good time, and you do so many different things, and you make so many plans, you get to meet so many new people, it just kind of gets your mind ticking, and you literally start like crunching numbers and running budgets in your head, trying to figure out how you're going to keep up with all the shit you want to do now. So it's always cool. It just makes your mind expand and really consider other options, because up until I started running around with you knuckleheads, my out-of-state stuff consisted of pretty much Maryland and PA and Virginia, just those three. And now we're popping Ohio with Eric, and now we're talking opportunities for next year for a little further into the Midwest, and some connections with the muleys, and then of course some of that flying carp fishing, things like that it's there, and we have connections to actually go experience it. So that's what I tend to come out of this with, is a mind full of how the hell do we make this happen.
And I guess that's like the toughest part, but and for everybody, that goes into this, the way that I think about it, man, is like, and I know I don't want to get like crazy serious or nothing, but like, like tomorrow's not promised, so you gotta like shoot for the stars and land on the moon, and just kind of like do those things, grasp those things, and just go do them. Like, you talk to everybody, man, and I'm in the same mindset where like shit just rolls in my head, and I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this happen? Like, there's not enough time in the month, there's not enough time in the day, but it's like, you have to make that fucking time, dude, because like with everything going on, you have to do that, man.
Well,
like,
this trip's a perfect example.
For sure.
3 weeks ago, we weren't coming.
No.
So.
But how do you not come?
Yeah.
That was my whole thing. I just like.
When you called and finally just said, you know what, fucking, I'm going. And then you called back and said, we're going to run with Dan and Shawn down there. You want to just carpool? Hell yeah, I'm in.
There's fucking deer everywhere, dude. What state are we in?
This is Ohio, brother.
Damn.
We're not far from where we'll be hunting with Eric.
Okay. Yeah, it's fucking flat. It's awesome. There's trees.
South-facing slopes.
Yeah.
Creek bottoms.
There's more trees than there is in the Midwest, I'll say that.
Hey, I remember that one field we had to go around that tree. There was a curve in the road.
There was a curve. It's so crazy. Like, and you say to somebody, all right, so how do I get to Walmart? Oh, it's just down yonder. 85 fields down on the left past Betty's house. The girl wearing the big sheet, and then you just turn the corner and just rip it down there. And
3 sections.
3 sections. She's 3 sections. Some of y'all might not get that, but maybe someday we'll explain to you what that's all about. There was so much laughs, dude. My cheeks still hurt from this whole entire weekend.
Trev laughed so much he couldn't stay awake.
Is that what it was? I don't know why I was so fucking tired, man.
I don't know, maybe it was the first 20 hours before we finally made it to Kurtz with the detours and hanging out with Gene and shooting there, and so everyone knows, we made it all the way to the Shewt, and both Shawn and Trev still didn't even have their tape on their sights. So
Well, it had tape, but it wasn't the proper tape.
Yeah, you literally had just tape.
And you settled in on your tape after a little bit. And
Yeah, I mean, I got it close enough.
It was huge thanks to Gene Miller, dude, for letting us hang out at his house and shoot. Man, he's next to none, probably one of my favorite from the Midwest. He's just like a brother, man. It's
that guy will give you the shirt off his back.
Truly. I mean, he's just so awesome, dude. To like, you know, like we hit him up and he's like, I got today off, man. What are you guys up to? You know, if you guys want to link up. And we were going to go walk some public, but it was just like, it was crazy busy there. And some of it was closed because of COVID. With the state of Illinois, they had closed some public land, so you couldn't get on the property. So then we ended up meeting up with Gene Miller. We went to his house and hung out for a couple hours, shooting our bows, getting everything all tuned in, and then met up with Kurt and the boys and got to go set up the course. So it was awesome, man. I don't ever want to leave, man. That's the problem with coming out here. Whether it was a classic, the Shewt, it's just I never want to leave, dude. It's just like being at home with your best friends from high school. You know, it's just like you never want to leave.
It's people that are just everybody's on the same page, man. Like we were kind of saying earlier, like you don't have to know each other personally, but you have that same bond with hunting, and you within 10 minutes you feel like you guys have been best friends forever. Like first thing I got out of the car and shook Kurt's hand, we gave each other a little hug. He's like, what's up, man? Nice to finally meet you. He's like, I feel like I've known you forever. And it's like, it's exactly the feeling you get with all those guys, and everybody was awesome. And with hunting, I mean, how many people do you meet from hunting that you don't just hit it off with like right away?
None, man. My whole entire life has all been about social media friends, like people that hunt that are like-minded people, because the people that are around you, the people that you meet, I guess, like on the street or friends through work or whatever, they're not the people that you meet on the internet or the people that you meet across the country. I mean, my entire friends from the time I was probably 16, 17, they're all people that I met on social media. And people that are hunters and fishermen, like they're some of my best friends that I met over the fucking internet. And like it's so awesome to hear like you meeting Kurt and meeting all of us, like how cool it is that you met those people through the internet, and they live so fucking far away. They live 18 hours away, and they're our best friends, in my opinion. So it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, so not everybody gets it. Like my wife, she still thinks I was crazy. She's like, so you're gonna go meet up with 3 people that you've met like once or twice, and you're gonna ride 16 hours in the car across country to go hang out with a bunch of people that you've never met, and you're gonna shoot bows. And I was like, yup. She's like, okay, and just looked at me like I'm crazy. She's like, whatever, have fun. But not everybody gets it. It's just different when with hunting like that.
What's your thoughts, Dan?
I mean, you guys just nailed it on the head. You're immediately friends, and it seems like you never run out of something to talk about. You just go on for hours and hours and hours, and go get another beer, and then go talk to somebody else for another hour, and then go get another beer, and go talk to somebody else for an hour. It's just a great time all around.
For sure. And that's one thing is when Kurt put all this together, he did a hell of a good job. And he named it Team Hang and Bang, but when you add in the entire network, all the other supporters and the people that make it happen, and that everyone that was there, we'll just call it that way. You've got Team Hang and Bang, but ultimately you've got the WCB family. Because, that's what it is. Everyone there, by the end of these trips, you're family. It's amazing how everyone just embraces everyone. It's a good time.
It is totally a good time. So, we always ask this question on the podcast, and I'll ask it. Dan, what drives you outdoors, man?
2013 Subaru.
Finally, someone did it. Someone had to do it.
Fucking did it.
I don't know. Honestly, it's just in my blood. I mean, that's just what I was born and raised. That's just all I really know. So, I didn't really have that clicking moment, like some guys maybe got into it in their 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s. But I was just kind of raised in it. I don't know any different, to be honest. I don't know if that really answers your question.
No. Hey, listen, there's no wrong answer in this questionnaire. Polke,
Well,
what drives?
there is one wrong answer,
What's that?
and that's nothing.
Yeah, that's true. What drives you outdoors, Polke?
I'm in the same boat as Dan. It's just something that I've been involved in my entire life.
I couldn't imagine with the trophy room at your house.
Literally raised in it.
I mean, my dad, he's always been big into hunting. Oh, there's some deer.
There's a buck. He's got his head down behind
Damn it,
the
I'm
hill.
trying to drive. You guys are killing me.
Sorry, guys.
My dad's always been involved. My uncle, my grandpa, just my whole family. Whether it be hunting or fishing, and it's the passion and the obsession has definitely got stronger as I've gotten older. I've gotten more into different types of hunting, whether it be ducks and turkeys and archery and all that stuff. So it's just, I can't help it. I mean, I don't think I really had a choice. I was just born into it, and it just taken off from there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I want to thank you guys for taking the drive with us and hanging out, for sure.
Absolutely.
It was fucking cool hanging out with everybody.
We've literally taken a drive.
That's what I'm saying.
A long one.
A long fucking drive. I love these drives, though. That's what it's all about. That's
man.
what we do for us. And thanks for, I guess, not even taking the drive with us. Thanks for allowing us to take the drive with you.
Yeah, technically.
I think is more or less what I'm saying.
In your case, Trev's taking the ride.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
rest of us have taken turns driving. So.
I'm taking the sleep. I do want to start a new segment here, and what better way to start it with everybody else in the car is hanging with the derelict is the new segment. So we all probably have some stories for this one, and I guess I'll start it off, and I'm gonna start off with my favorite story. Hanging out with a derelict is I can't.
Let her rip.
All right, so this one time I was with a derelict, and I'm hanging out, I'm chilling in his house, and I look up on the wall, man, and there's a turkey mount, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck, dude? That thing's fucking weird. Something's wrong with that. Well, the turkey fan was actually turned backwards, and it was facing the wrong way on the thing, and I'm like, hey, derelict, your fan is backwards. What do you mean it's backwards? Yeah, I think it looks better that way. No, asshole, it's fucking backwards. So, hanging with a derelict. What's your story hanging out with a derelict? Polke?
Man, you're putting me on the spot. I wasn't ready for this one. Shit. I was hanging out with this derelict one time, and for some reason I took him turkey hunting with me, and he was telling me about this big freaking monster deer that he supposedly shot in Missouri, and it shows me a picture, and it was fucking huge, and I asked, like, well, where is it? Did you get it mounted? And he's like, no, I didn't get it mounted. And I'm like, what bow hunter kills like a 160-inch deer and doesn't even save the antlers or get it mounted or anything? And I was like, yeah, you're definitely a fucking derelict.
Dan, what was your story of hanging with a derelict?
Luckily, I live a derelict-free lifestyle. Haven't really had any derelict encounters, and I like to keep it that way, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Steve, what's your derelict experience?
Oh, one time I was hanging with the derelict, and we're at a show, and we're looking at some stuff, and I said, man, I really want to check out some of the newer broadheads on the market. We walk over, and so I'm going to introduce you to this, and start showing me some stuff, and he goes, I've killed a bunch of things. These will go through everything. Just trust me. They were just released. How do you kill anything?
Oh, hanging with a derelict. Stay tuned. We have more derelict stories to come.
For sure.
Oh man, what a great weekend, dude. I can't thank you enough at all, you guys, man. It was fucking awesome to catch up with everybody and see everybody, and
I'm sad it's over.
Yeah, the only shitty part is we gotta wait 300 and some odd days to do it again.
Yeah, for the
Harrisburg's
shoot.
before then.
Oh yeah, for the shoot.
We're gonna have way more fun before then. I think
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think we have a pretty good road crew of doing some cool things together in the future here.
Dude, if me and Shawn can lock up a Illinois trip this fall, that would be pretty sick.
Possibility. Definitely a possibility.
That would be awesome, man. I'd love to hear about that. That would be fucking incredible. if
Should
you guys-
we do a slight pro tip for East Coast type
Yep.
people? So, if you live in the Eastern Seaboard and you want to go shoot big bucks, one thing that you can do is go to your local beer distributor and pick up about 17 cases of Yingling and just drive west. Stop in Iowa, Illinois, and just drive around. I guarantee you're going to be best friends with somebody in probably 15 minutes. You might get 1 parcel, 3 parcels, who knows? But hey, you never know.
Yingling is the heart to a Midwesterner, huh?
It's amazing. It's liquid gold.
Oh man.
That's a pretty damn good pro tip.
Yeah.
And I'll vouch for it. It works.
Dude,
I watched it work
living
in
proof.
action this
I
weekend.
got cell phone numbers in my phone right now, thanks to Yingling.
Thanks to Yingling.
I'd like to personally thank Mr. Dick for making the greatest beer in Pennsylvania.
I guess if you brought Yingling and seafood, you would be the fucking world's best man in the
That's
world.
just not fair.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not fair.
seafood. Yeah, the seafood definitely made you a very popular man.
Well, when you find out what they actually eat in the Midwest
Oh, my
for
God.
seafood,
They say they got like Red Lobster and that's it.
well, Red Lobster, but did you hear the stories of Eric eating fucking oysters out of a can?
What?
Yeah, he eats oysters out of a can.
That's fucking horrible.
That's disgusting.
Like sardines out of a can?
It's kind of like that, but it was
Sardines,
oysters.
clams.
Clams, okay. They eat.
Their seafood has been in the can or frozen longer than it was alive.
That's what I'm saying. And not even that, but how about the fucking mussels and shit and the clams they eat out of the rivers out there? Did you see the rivers?
Oh my goodness.
Chocolate milk.
They look like toilet water.
A lot of them are. Just saying.
What's that?
A lot of them are.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
God. Well, I don't know really how much deeper we want to go down the rabbit hole, because I feel like we could talk about this for a long damn time. So, gents, thanks for jumping in and taking this ride with us. Again, big shout out to Shawn's dad for letting us take the sweet ride on the ride. And for all of you guys who've been sitting through this, either laughing or painstakingly plugging your ears, I'm not sure which, we want to thank you guys for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.